Are you violent
Violent in what sense?
in things?
I would say no, though I can't determine the level of at which I'm violent. That is if I am. I think it is other people that can judge on that. Other people will be able to say maybe you are a kind of violent person or not. So I would prefer other people saying that to me. But from my own perspective or from my own level of understanding, I'm not.
Okay, so Mr. Abi, has anyone ever complained of you being angry?
In life, people will always complain.
Yes,
Several aspects you find yourself. If you are calm, people will say your calmness may not please some persons.
Yes.
If you have anger issues or whatever thing you do, people must complain. Yes.
Okay, so I think I should rephrase my question. Yes, people get angry. Has anyone ever said? Okay, I asked him if he was violent, if he's violent.
Yeah.
So has anyone ever said you are angry to the extent of being violent? Like he said it's people that we judge the excess.
But to me,
your own
nobody has
nature.
ever told me that I am violent.
Okay.
But some persons, to be fair enough, some persons may look at somebody from distance and be telling you that you look so serious. It's like you have anger issue.
Exactly.
Yes.
I was going there. Like they have this notion that when someone has a very gentle
yeah.
look, or when someone is trying to be as humble as possible,
Yeah.
Yoruba will say that ibinu won kinda, that you can't withstand their anger and all.
Yeah. And at times, in life, everybody has nobody can say that I can never be angry, because one thing I know, anger is a natural phenomenon.
It's a natural thing.
Yes, it is imbued in every man. Every single man you see in life has the lion living in him. But if there is no one to provoke the lion in him, a normal human being cannot just rise up one day and start getting angry. But ability to control that anger is what matters, of course. The moment one fails to control that anger, it leads toward violence.
Okay, so now speaking of controlling anger, Mr. Abi is married. Let me come to you, and I'm sure he made the right choice. Let me come to you. Yes, I was just saying this the other time that he looks well fed compared to when he came from Abuja. So everyone is not perfect, right?
Yes, sure.
Yeah.
So do you think you can settle for a woman with anger issue?
Settling down with a woman with anger issue is what I will not advise anybody to, including me. Because I think some people, or let me say my kind of person, I'm this cool guy, and I do get angry, and definitely I will try to, on several occasions, I do control my anger level. But it will get to a point whereby they will have pushed you to the wall, and it's that person that is gentle, and the bounce back might have a repulsive effect.
Yeah.
And looking at someone that is cool, that is gentle, getting angry, people will now term that as an aggressive person in that instance. So I think it's better for you not to go with someone that is very that has an aggressive instance or aggressive issues.
Okay, let's assume you don't know before marriage. Like some Christians, they call it courtship.
Okay.
Court for 6 months, then you get married, and in those periods you don't visit each other. Maybe you visit. There's always a accountability partner for Christians like that are trying to avoid fornication and all. Maybe you visit in the presence of their accountability partner and all. So you don't really know the person's behavior. Let's now assume like after a year in marriage, and then there are some things that bring out the bad sides of us. You understand? For instance, when people are under a lot of pressure, immense pressure and all, you tend to see it. There are some when there is no money, you will see it. You understand? So let's now assume it now comes out maybe after a year or two of marriage, to the extent of breaking and destroying things. How would you manage it?
First off, I will say, of course, there's nobody that's perfect. We are not perfect. And at the same time, while in a relationship, maybe dating, boyfriend, girlfriend, or a thing, there are some instances whereby the behavior of that person will show. But due to the love that might have maybe blindfolded us or anything, we won't see that aspect. That's why in every building relationship, we should take note of minute things.
Red flags,
Red
green
flags and
flags.
everything.
I think
So
we'll
all
discuss
these
that.
things definitely shows up, but we are blindfolded with this love of a thing. So we most times don't see that aspect. And by the time you get into the marriage, that's when everything will now become glaring. So from that aspect, you now see that you can't cope with this part of our own side. You can't cope with this, but we should never let me say neglect that aspect while in a relationship.
Okay, so you still haven't answered my question. In marriage now, what will you do if you start showing?
Let me tell you something about this question. Let me answer it this way. One thing we should understand in the marriage, in a relationship, is that two persons are not coming from the same place.
Definitely.
The two persons involved in the marriage institution are coming from different family backgrounds. The factors we need to know. The man is coming from different family backgrounds with different training given to him by his parents, with different influence from his siblings, from different influence by his environment. Okay? Then the lady too, the same thing. Now, for them to come together as husband and wife, they should understand the fact that yes, we are coming from different angles to live together. That is when we should know that women are they are sensible, right? They are very sensible people, and they easily express their anger more than a man. So it is now responsibility of the man to understand that fact that this is the kind of person I'm going out with, right? In that aspect. So yes, so it is the courtship period is the time for them to now observe. That is the reason why, to me, I don't believe in short relationship. Yes, I don't believe in short relationship. If I'm in a relationship with somebody, at least let's just take up to like a year or two. And I have a principle, before I even got married, I have a principle that I hate engaging a woman for years. If I engage you this month, just know that next month we are getting married. So 2 months is too far.
It's too far for you.
Because me and my wife, I was in school and we started our dating. And by the time I finished the school, she was talking about, I said, auntie, calm down. Then, because I need to put this in order. So by the time I prepared, she didn't even know. I came back to Akure and I met her. I said, get ready, we are going to see your people. She was like, how? I said, yes, that is how it should be. And I went to see her people, invited her to where I was staying. We went to market. I bought the ring. So she was like, everything was
Did you kneel down?
Yeah?
Did you kneel?
Well, whichever way.
Did you kneel? Yes or no? You just gave her the ring like that. That's a red flag.
No, to me, I have my principles.
It's not about principles.
No, it's not about what determines marriage or determines the success of marriage is not by man kneeling down while engaging the woman.
But I think kneeling down matters a lot.
So people, yes, to woman, and we have a lot of things to discuss.
Because you only have that day to kneel down. Maybe you only have that day to kneel down.
But after that day, what happens?
Yes, for men do not kneel after that. Ladies that
Africans, we like imitating things, right? If you are looking at this even ring that we are talking about, if you don't put it in their finger and the rest, go and browse it and see the origin of it. It is not African culture. Yes, it's not African culture. So I watched something that. Let me just digress a bit. I watched something that somebody in Nigeria is as if let me just Africa as if we are doing about 2 or 3 marriages all in the name of one person. 1, introduction, you go and pay. 2, tradition, you go and pay. 3rd one, white wedding again. Are you getting that? I will not go detail about that, okay? Because that will take us long.
Maybe we should take that as another topic.
Yes, another topic.
I have another. Before my last question, I just remember something I read recently. It's about angry men. That's when a man is angry, the whole house should be quiet, including the wife. That's what I read it. So since you are men, that's why I'm directing.
Yeah, of course,
I'm directing.
Depends on the kind of majority culture, right? I'm a kind of person, being as a married man, sometimes me and my wife, if I get angry, allow me to express myself. And at the moment, if you don't allow me to express myself, I'll keep my mouth shut. And at that moment, if there is light and I'm watching television, please allow me to focus. If there is no television, I will go to bed. And
To me, I would
let me
prefer to
sleep.
walk away.
Yes.
Maybe walk out
Instead
that
of
instant.
raising your
Instead-
voice at
So
everyone.
by the time I
You know?
walk away,
Mm.
some wives, in fact, I watched a movie whereby the guy left the environment of that anger. After the guy might have left, the lady followed him.
That is.
Ah.
That now provoked him again
Yeah,
to
that
do
is
some
out of
unreasonable
it.
things.
Yeah,
So I
that
think it's better by the time you leave the environment, by the time the guy leave the environment, everywhere should be maintained, like should be calm.
Yeah.
And sometimes if guys like voice out in their anger, they want the person they are telling or they are getting angry at should just be calm and maybe listen to the complaint. But for the instance of the woman now saying something else, leading to argumentative kind of thing. So the anger for the guy will be like, you are the one I'm talking to and you are still doing this thing. So at that level, I think it's getting to some extent. And it's not always every day or every time angers come up that the lady will be the kind of person to keep quiet.
Keep quiet. There are
There
some
are
things
times
that lady will also
the lady will want to
Just allow them to
also
express
want to
themselves.
So allow them.
Yeah, allow
Yes.
them.
So when
And
I
then
get
there's-
angry, one person is calm. When that
Well-
person raises, let me just calm and
So
Yeah.
speaking of angry, so like angry men, what do you think of raising your voice at your wife or at your partner, your woman, in public or in the presence
Oh,
of
man,
the
that
children?
is disrespect too.
Very disrespectful.
That's disrespectful.
But though we can't
But-
just really say it disrespect
Exactly.
because sometimes let's just see something like this. Your wife being so sensible or sensitive enough to detect what you are, the message you are passing to her non-verbally, right? At times we quench the whole matter. You know, just like you go out with a child. Those days, our parents will go out with them, even when you want to do some certain thing, the kind of eyes they will look at you with will tell you the message, right? Same thing when you are married. See your wife as your first daughter, and wife see your husband as your first son, right? So in a situation whereby man raises his voice at his woman outside, if the man is matured enough, and if the woman matured enough to understand the husband's mood at the moment, she should be able to at least avoid that. Then the man will also avoid that. But in a situation whereby the wife fails to understand the body movement of the man and the man is unable to control his anger, that is where the man will now voice out. But to me, it is not proper because if I go out with my wife, no matter what, if I see that things are not going well, I will not. The best thing I will do is not to answer the person, and I will pretend. Whatever thing happened there, I will just be smiling. I will only. That is my kind of
you
person.
pretend as
Yes,
if
nothing is happening. I will just be smiling. If you look at me, I'm just. I hope you are okay. I will say, that I'm good. I'm good. I will just be smiling because the rest is when we get home, we sort it out. Simple. That is me.
Okay. Now that you've established that, so what advice would you have for people in that situation, like people with angry partners, maybe angry wife or angry husband? What advice would you have for them because of their children? You know, children will eventually pick
Yeah.
from a particular
Sure,
parent. So
sure.
how do you think, since they're already in it, everything is not divorce?
Yeah. No.
See,
no.
especially if it's not leading to domestic
Serious
violence,
violence,
yet
yeah.
everything is not divorce. But for the sake of their children, what advice do you have for them? Let's say from you first, Mr. Ida.
All right, means my advice to such kind of people is, it is not advisable for a man to be shouting at his wife in the presence of his of their children, because one thing we need to know: the children are fast learners, and the male children like learning from their father. The female children like learning from their mothers. So if you are the kind of person as man fighting or shouting at your wife in the presence of the children, the male children automatically imitate it, that maybe this is the way of life, and by the time they grow up with that kind of mentality, it will affect them in their marital life. And they will be treating ladies like that. And even as a woman shouting at her husband, insulting her husband in the presence of her children, the female will imitate that. I'm thinking by the time maybe in their relationship periods, they'll be talking to their boyfriend or their proposal, their tutor, whatever. that will affect their marital life. So I will advise that let's, since we understand the fact that anger is a natural thing that built in a man, I will encourage every one of us to try as much as possible to have that ability to control our anger no matter what the situation, because know that you are living with somebody from different family background, possibly from different environment, being influenced. Likewise the men too. So that is my candid advice.
Brother Shay, over to you.
Who is brother Shay?
You are my brother now. I'm your younger sister here.
No, but
Even though you are not acting it.
of it, seriously, of a truth, I would say there's no way anger or angry mood won't come up.
Definitely.
But definitely you have to imbibe the habit of being calm and having the ability to control it. Because by the time you bite your tongue, for example, of course, everything will have to calm down at that instance.
Before
So
you
you
can swallow
before you can swallow
the
even
teeth
food.
and the tongue, they always fight at times.
So
and they fight
definitely
and they continue it together.
angers or angry instances will come up, but the ability to control it is the key thing there.
Okay.
And by the time you are angry, it is better to keep quiet, keep
Definitely.
calm, let that minute pass. Then you can, maybe if you want to express yourself, you are free to do that and everything. So definitely argument will come.
And
But-
don't go to bed with anger.
And it's not good.
Coming from a married man, don't go to bed with
I
anger.
don't know,
Resolve everything with your
aside the
partner.
fact that it's coming from a married man, I think
And she did that come
sleeping
from you
over-
that is a single person.
no, being single self, sleeping over with angry mood or with anger is not appropriate.
It's not
Because if I do that, by the time I wake up early in the morning, I will discover that I'm feeling body pain.
You know,
Now
see,
that means I might have thought of
even
what
apart
got
from
me angry.
that, apart from that, I watched the video where the husband and wife involved in a serious quarrel and they went to bed with anger. Actually, the woman overreacted and the man got angry and they went to bed, and so he was trying to calm her by even telling her, "Hey baby, calm down, I love you." Try to kiss her, she refused.
And
she went
God
to bed.
has provided something for the couple.
Yes, yes.
If someone is angry, do the normal thing to everything will come down.
Unfortunately, the wife was is this asthmatic patient now, so
Imagine.
the inhaler got finished, and in the midnight, the whole
needed
thing
the
comes
help of
there.
the
So and the husband with anger, he got angry, and in the morning, he wake up and move. Came back, the woman died. So it is
That's
not
nice. That's good to hear from you guys. But I do hope you practice all you've said. I do hope you practice it at home. I will plan to spy. I don't
Of course,
know.
you're free
And
to
I will
do
fish you out. So thank you very much.
Wait, what is your own
Say
anger
no
level?
to anger. Like you said it's people that we determine. Although what I've noticed is that, or maybe the feedback, when I'm angry, I tend to say a lot of things.
Okay.
And even things that maybe
like when you are angry.
yes, when I'm angry at someone, you understand. I know how words can be. It can't be
Very
mutual.
harsh.
So my anger level is indifferent. It depends on the level. So when I know that I either cry or I
Oh, that would
talk
be so lovely.
or I talk. So when I know that okay, I
Why
want
is it
to,
that so lovely? You want to see her cry.
I hate.
so when I know that I want to talk and I don't want to
somebody,
say it, I will
woman
just
crying.
rather walk away in silence. I will not.
That is it.
I will not talk. I will
That's
walk
my
away,
weakness. If I see
and then
woman
I will
crying,
get someone else that does not even know to rant. Can you see, sometimes I can just pick up my call, or if it's physical, I will just tell. Once I've ranted, I have poured out everything.
One of my pastors
I
said,
think I'm
he
okay.
will face the wall. He will start pouring his anger on the wall.
Mhm.
And if you want to punch the wall, you punch it. So I was like,
And
that's
if I want-
another form of control.
Yes. And if I want to cry too, if I want to cry too,
You will cry at the wall.
That's
very
right,
well.
very
I'll
nice.
cry very well. But what I do is I try
Wow.
to, yes, I will cry. So that is it. We should just learn to manage
Okay.
our
Oh,
anger.
Then feel free to share with us how you always control your anger. Let's go in the comment section.
And if you are the type that like insulting your husband or your wife, please control your anger and have a lovely marriage. Thank you.
Mm.